give me one hot second while I set this up for YouTube. Overwrite. I mean, sure, go ahead and do that. Alright. Before I get into it real quick, had some Chinese food before I started, and hopefully you can't quite wait. It's backwards anyway. That's hard to see. It's a fortune cookie whose fortune reads, "You will receive a fortune cookie." So that's how my life's going right now. Anyway, Phoenix Wright, baby. Oh god, the voices. How'd your How'd the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray area. Oh god, don't start that Yakuza shit.
Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area.
Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate.
I believe in you, sis.
Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. What? You got that Robert Hammond school of lawyering, I see. You're a Chinese dude for dinner? I just said I had Chinese food for dinner, and he gave you a fortune cookie that reads, "You'll receive a fortune cookie." I have it right here. It's hard to see because it's kind of reflecting off my light and everything, but I swear it says you will receive a fortune cookie. I'll tweet a photo out of it. On the back it also says, "How about another fortune?" at secondfortune.com. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really feel like that. Somehow I'm not enticed to go and get another fortune, if you can believe it, Arg. Ahem. The defense is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Well, yeah. They don't just drag him out here for his own health. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. Phoenix has a word calendar. And decisive was there one day, and he's like, I like the sound of that. Decisive. I'm gonna describe everything as that. Oh, Chinese food. He misheard you. Yeah, no, I had some Chinese food, and the fortune cookie literally said you will receive a fortune cookie. It's the shittiest fortune cookie I've ever gotten. Not wrong. I can't fault it for its accuracy. It's just kind of shitty. And that is... You're not a fucking wild Phoenix. You remind me of Mia, with the exception of you don't have the same job as her. Eh? Yeah, obviously. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. So does she just dress like that for the hell of it, or like... Did she actually earn medals in court? My first trial without a fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I think your first trial where you were defending Maya was a trial without really a fae helping you. You know, what with the whole, Well, I mean, it started that way, I guess. Mia, Boobs Mackenzie there, showed up halfway through. I'll be all alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself.
Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way.
All alone in there.
I'm right here, Mr. Wright.
All alone, by myself. No one to help me.
I'm literally giving you the evidence that you're using to present.
No one here, Emma. I mean, anyone? No one here, anyone? I'm guessing she's dressed like that just for the fun of it. She doesn't look like she has a lot of fun, I'll be perfectly honest, Ark. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright.
Eh?
I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. That was his... What? Your opening statement, please. Judge, do you listen when I speak? Very intriguing. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Whatever. You know what I mean.
Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything.
However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Yeah, we know, she's a hooker. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The Cough-Up Queen? Again, could have gone with a better name. Literally any translation team. Alright, I need to pull the guide up here for the, I should be getting 2 lunch boxes here without doing anything. Of course the judge knows her. Haven't I seen you somewhere before? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. 5-minute recess, everyone. Right now, she isn't, but I hear she's fun to be around otherwise. What with her comedic god and her pardoning her good looks, just like comedic god. What? And her parading her goods, just like Mia did. I mean, she's not really parading her goods as much as Mia did, to be fair. But yeah, no, she's not exactly a barrel of laughs, that Lana Skye. The judge is really wolfing it down. There's the other one. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Caviar Bowl and Fiesta Bowl. And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I think you, might just be allergic there, Judge. Her being a comedic god. Of course. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. Words of wisdom from Judge there. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name! Profession! Now! Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecutor will wait! I'm not finished eating! Hurry it up! Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I'm a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was special investigator with the police. Oh. What happened? She was a first-rate homicide detective. Did you just really find a new passion of selling drugs, or... Sorry, lunch? Hey, Nathan, what's going on?
Well, what? Miss Starr was a detective.
Alright. I know who you are! Cough-Up? Really hate that name. Cough-Up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. You know, in 2003, when it was an innocent time, the name you could kind of almost squint and get away with it. This game came out in like 2019, 2018, this remaster. What the hell were they thinking? Change that nickname. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. Allergic or Judge wolfed down food so fast he bit his tongue a bunch of times. Yep, one or the other. The parking lot of the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block, that is for prosecutor's office personnel. Whatever, you know what I mean. Block B is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of the A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was that valiant witness? That delightfully charming and oh so brilliant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor. Alright, the parking lot floor plans.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Very well, Mr. Wright.
Can't agree on principle, Your Honor. Seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Judge, what the hell?
Wait, are they talking about me? Feeling a little bit, you know, ganged up on here. It's like Piper Perry and the 5 black guys in that meme. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Jesus! Yeah, that's pretty incriminating. Judge, I'd like to reevaluate my stance here. Through the wire fence, I saw Chief Prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Alright. Chief Prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. I think he could have just said she stabbed him. I don't think he needed to clarify it was the pointy bit of the knife, but okay. I would hope that the Chief Prosecutor understands how knives work, thank you.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching.
What principle? He can't agree with him on principle that he's a defense attorney, and the judge was like, well, that seems pretty cut and dry.
Hey, Phoenix? Guess Lana did it. We done here?
Phoenix is like, you know, it's kind of my job to say no, we're not, Your Honor. I'm inclined to agree with Phoenix on that one, Arg. As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I mean, where were you in the parking lot where you saw this? Because there's a big old chain link defense dividing potentially you and our suspect here. And I'm curious how you apprehended her that way. I'm still thinking about that.
It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Enough of the Monty Python references. Cross-examine the witness.
Alright. So there is one here for, the statement where she talked about her right hand. I need to, do stuff with that statement to get 2 more lunch boxes for the achievement. But first, let's press everything. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. I'm not sure if that required a bow there. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. That was smooth, that short. That was smooth. Unless Lana, Judge Miles, and Phoenix, and the rest of the court know how knives work, none of them have any business being. Yeah, I think even Phoenix is, even Gumshoe would be like, I know how a knife works, pal. Given that they are used to erase inconvenient evidence at their whim. Whatever. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that.
Miss Starr, you have something personal against prosecutors?
I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. If I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. It is weird that the prosecutors control salary and hiring and firing practices of the police force. Laid off? She was fired? That is what that means. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr.
On my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective. Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several? I believe Winston Payne had a term for this. It was... what was it? Oh, sweetener fathers, I believe. Candygram men.
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I mean, she knows what she wants. She's not shy about it.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Probably wise there, Judge.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying.
I think he was composing himself, but sure. Security guard room is in A block. Yeah, like hangs over the doorway. It's weird. It's up on the second level. You can see everything from there. Except, you know, the entrance. That would be the room with the security sign. Ah yes, cafe security. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block.
So, she was in B block when she witnessed a crime.
Gee. That thing I said would be a problem is a problem. Some finely honed detective's intuition. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes. It was like that feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. Kind of viscerally upset, but you can't quite explain why.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of detective's intuition. Wasn't the victim, Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
What? A young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack.
Of course, Judge. Bit weird than one of the few things I have beef about with this game. Like, prosecutors and police are two different organizations. Prosecutors shouldn't have any influence on police forces anyway. They certainly work together, and I can kind of see a prosecutor's opinion of a detective's performance on a case being an important factor in things like promotions and maybe even salary in some cases, like a bonus or a raise. But the hiring and firing of them is definitely should be separated. I'm not saying it works like that. I'm saying I can understand why it might, within this universe, work that way. Prosecutors and detectives very much work together in this universe.
Yeah, with the older of an own cheese to match.
Emma!
That man is a judge! You will show respect! In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. The wire fence saw the prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Tell us about that garish car. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, are you sure it was the defendant, and not maybe Mr. Edgeworth? We have bailiffs on standby if that's the case.
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick.
Hell, that's the name of the game. Witness! In your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness! You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Eh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. You flip your hair a lot. I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring. The way you just blatantly and openly threatened an officer sworn to uphold the duties of court.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism.
I don't know what that tagline is. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. You clearly took this... I mean, look, that doesn't look good for me. But you clearly took this from the other side of the fence, and then had to have a way to get over there.
A photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. The camera, I assume, not the lunchbox. Poor Edgeworth can't catch a break. Harassed by old bag, defendant previous case, now a murder takes place in his car with a knife. Yeah, it probably would have been Edgeworth up on trial here if it hadn't been for Angel. Witness! Why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. You don't think maybe Edgeworth has some stake in this, given it was his car? You're clearly, Your Honor, she hid evidence from a prosecutor. She's clearly a biased witness. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Well, that's not good. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? The prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Well, she wasn't. Her hands are clearly empty. Also, the whole fence thing. Tell me more about this knife the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Alright. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It's your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, very well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as her ability to kill an egg, I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try and stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, this star's testimony is flawless.
It's not. Sounds pretty fatal to me.
What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty?
Let's keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, her panicking next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that.
To have an underage woman panicking next to me. Just like old times, eh, Phoenix? She's a biased witness, sure, but not so much because of the picture, as much as clearly has some bad history and hatred for prosecutors. Alright, yeah, the picture kind of corroborates her story beyond just, you know, the hatred of prosecutors making her say it was Lana, she did it. Anyway, what we need to do for a lunchbox is, in the right hand, we need to present the crime photo. I think because she is not holding a knife, or possibly the fence will come up at this point. Objection! And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife? As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunchbox.
I'm sure that's a fine lunch.
But isn't this odd? Look at this photograph! This is the photograph you took. Okay. At the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. Objection! And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's black and white photo!
Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could easily be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you.
Mr. Wright, are you just gonna sit there and take that kind of abuse?
Arrgh, you got a better idea? So the correct answer is objection, obviously. But we want lunchboxes, so no problem. Now that you mention it, I see no problem here. Other than myself.
Mr. Wright, you can't just let him walk all over you. That's just sad.
Feeling sad, Mr. Wright? Perhaps a bittersweet first love lunchbox is in order.
Well, that was a waste of time. Let's continue with the testimony.
Perhaps I should have dug a little deeper. Alright. Try that again. Only this time, you know, we'll actually follow through with it. After that... the next lunchbox is during her next statement. You witnessed this. Already said yes. Swear it on this salmon swirl. Look at this photograph. You know, same old plot beats. Bloodstained, dark red. Sit there and take this abuse. Objection, damn it! Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the photo the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, your order seconds. Problem solved. And if you don't like it, order the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go.
Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice.
I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated... It clearly was not. The knife was in the trunk of Edgeworth's car. Okay. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? She's wearing, like, war medals and shoulder cuffs. I don't know. She's got a weird fashion. If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Guys, let that be a lesson. Never commit murder if you're wearing gloves, alright? They're gonna say it was premeditated. If it's a crime of passion, make sure you stop and take the gloves off, alright? Can't be doing this premeditated thing. Wire. Yeah. That's a pretty weak fucking argument.
These gloves do seem to tell the tale of premeditation.
Do they? Do they really? Premeditated murder, a serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
Okay, well, press that. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves. Great counter-argument. The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Or she just has terrible fashion sense. Look what you have rice balls on your hat. Are you really gonna judge a woman's fashion sense? Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Arrgh.
Impressive. I'm sorry that they took you off the force, Miss Starr.
This is bad. She's got them thinking it was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that it wasn't premeditated.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
Said that before. Okay, we saw this. We saw this. Alright, so, thought there was one more statement. Alright. Garish car. Murder was planned, rubber gloves. Prove it. They clearly don't. Based on... Yeah. Edgeworth's toolbox. Objection! Witness! Do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. We've been over that!
What's with this case?
A bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belong to the prosecutor there.
The defendant is chief prosecutor of the district, right?
Mommy, a prosecutor's bad people.
The defense has a request. Throw that kid out. We ask the witness provide accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, You stated that Lana Skye planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. Guilty. The gloves indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon? Oh. The knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Oh no, she sells lunchboxes, cower in fear, and run away. She'll throw tasty food at us. Or worse, adequate food. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon!
True. Order. Order.
Great, now the tide is turning in our favor.
Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
Also, don't forget your job at the chemical plant. No, she just wore gloves for this 7-9. Turns out there's a quicker way of hiding your fingerprints. Just wear gloves. As you can see by this picture, gloves, much easier than that chemical plant thing. We're learning so much. So I should quit now. Well, I mean, depends on, what sort of benefits you get. It's a decent paying job, maybe keep it going. You don't have to commit a murder just because you're working at a chemical plant. Oh, Edgeworth, you smug bitch. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? It was a clever wordplay because on Witness here, I got that. Oh. I hope you're not deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. Prosecution could care less if this Prosecution couldn't care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. What, because you gave shitty testimony? Yes, I do. They could, because it's important. But you know as well as I do, she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Phoenix. I love that he's gotten more sarcastic as the game goes on. In the beginning, he'd have been like, uh-oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Now he's like, oh, really? Yeah, sure. You get weight of the world on your shoulders there, Phoenix. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure that she prosecuted a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive a human machine to plunge that knife in him again and again. Alright, so let's see the autopsy report and see how that tracks.
The victim was summoned to the police department to the prosecutor's office.
1 knife wound. Professional witness, ladies and gentlemen. This is grade school stuff.
It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
It's a salient point, actually.
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Just very accurate. Keep hitting the exact same spot. What the fuck? Why? What possible reason would they have for doing that, 7-9? If there are reasons other than grudges for why people choose to kill. Yeah, but she's, clearly a biased witness, so... All prosecutors are evil and therefore out to get detectives and cops, right? That must be what happened. Like pizza, as Emma pointed out. Update on my phone that isn't important in any way. Well, this guy intended to murder Detective Goodman. So the lunchbox here is... I need to press her on, I think, the 3rd statement? Whatever the one through the, no. Okay, there's a statement I need to press her on. And I get a lunchbox for it. Oh, no, wait, that's, That's the previous one. Right, okay. Okay. Some dorky girl dissing one's office in a car to one's face. Got him! You've said that, but you haven't told us how you know! That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie.
I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again.
Rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, alright. And it's you! Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now, why do you believe the suspect had intentions of murdering the victim? Hey, Kanochi Penguin, what's going on? Good job, Kevin. This is, we're in peak sassy Phoenix, but he's only thinking it to himself, so... Her actions speak for themselves. I do love that, like... They had to write dialogue for me pressing innocuous bullshit statements. And, it's always, what the hell are you doing? You have no proof that Miss Skye called him there. You have no proof that she didn't.
Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts?
There is no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Skye's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on! You could have tried public phone first, at least. Solid point. How much trying to decide McDonald's or Taco Bell? Those are very similar yet very different. One is cheap Americana food, the other is cheap Mexican food. In any case, I personally prefer Taco Bell. I haven't eaten McDonald's in, ages. I had Taco Bell a few months ago. It's my most recent experience with either of those. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered.
I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness.
Why do you think it was the suspect?
Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day?
Chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't! That's because she didn't have a grudge! Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside?
How am I supposed to know?
See? We agree there is a lunchbox, but we don't know what's inside. A grudge isn't a tangible thing. This is... You're clearly adding bullshit details to your testimony. You goddamn buffoon. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree?
I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. Lana Skye hated the victim. It makes sense.
Miles, being stabbed in the parking lot doesn't qualify as dying in a prosecutor's office. It's close enough. She has a point. 10-minute recess to eat the lunchbox. Yo, he did that already. This judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking that? It's simple. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in him again and again. A human machine? That's a contradiction. Shut up, Phoenix. Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright?
Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's size smelled like citrus fruit.
You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say, chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me?
Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that.
Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people!
Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know.
Miss Stars turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her alibi, her abilities as a detective really set her off.
The short wick burns out the fastest. It's scientific fact.
I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick would burn longer.
Obviously, more scientific testing is required.
Nerd. Alright, this one's pretty fucking easy. Autopsy report. And I should get another lunchbox for that. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. That's just... Why do you have that? That's just grass in a box. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Mr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report... Yeah, I like that Edgeworth is even like, okay, look, there's a problem here. I'll cover this one. Right? I got this one. We're all talking about lunch. It's true. We're arguing with a lunch lady. That is an adorable emote, by the way. What is that one? Pride cute. God, you have the best emotes, Kenochi. Where do you get all these from? Aren't salads just grass in a box? They're a bit more than moss, though. Autopsy report states the death was due to loss of blood from one stab wound. Also, this lady is pretty suspicious, if you ask me. I got her.
Ah, you're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
What a hunk. He's my hero, really.
What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, witness.
There we go. You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. What? But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. What? So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood on her breast. You would be staring at the titties. Splattered blood splattered blood from her victim. God, best emotes. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Yeah, please, I'm very curious. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf the chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. She can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right? Really? Miss Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? First time chat from Saint Mitt. Oh, first time chat from viewer. Oh, fuck off. Want to become famous? Want to become famous, everyone? Big follows. Ring the bell for bigfollows.com. God, I've run out of advertisements for them. But thanks. First time chat from viewer notification. Right, let me see the photo of her. Oh look, she's not wearing her muffler. Fucking kindergarten stuff here, Star.
Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib.
Thanks! A judge with a bib? That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. I wrote this game. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony.
Mr. Wright, this is our chance.
Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr turned out to be a short-tempered issue. Okay, I saw this already. Being famous sounds like too much trouble. Oh no, I'd love to be famous, but I don't want to put any of the work into it. I'll deal with the trouble at that point. That's, in my opinion, that's a good problem to have. Ah, fuck, goddammit. But bigfollows.com sounds like a scam, so... Alright, murdered, grudge, red muffler, alright. Anything I need to do for, when's the next lunchbox? The next lunchbox is... Okay, so we have a choice in what we want her to testify on, and we need to make the right choices. I work at BigFalls.com. Side hustle when I'm not doing it at the chemical plant. Gonna murder somebody there? Is that the play? Is that your bold, big-headed move? Miss Star, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. Edgeworth, look, can you give me a chance? And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. It depends. Do you want to be famous and poor, or do you want to be famous and rich? I'll take either. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. And you steal Phoenix Thunder again. It's true. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good stuff, Edgeworth. You really showed that uppity bitch.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part?
The part where your sister stabbed the victim! This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Alright, apprehending the suspect. Yeah, I need to question her. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her and explained her rights to her and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. She prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. No, not the cough-up queen.
You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, cobras are kind of a snake. Don't bother me with details, unless you want to get bitten. No thanks.
Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
No, he's weak against any women. He's kind of a bubbly little puddle. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, knocked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. What?
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine, if you will.
We're not going to question leopard woman? Huh? Alright, whatever. Apprehending the suspect. Alright. After the murder. So where is this partition on the floor plan? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. Well, I mean, it's a shit hiding spot. And what did you do then? Well, in Phoenix's defense, everybody is weak to bites of poisonous snakes. You know what? That's a good point. I quickly caught her, explained her rights, and had her arrested on the spot. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Choose presser. Okay. I'd like to see us on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was in a visitor spot, thus she was parked in Block B. So you witnessed the murder from here.
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right.
But there's a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course. Really?
Amazing! The cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed.
It would have taken a little time for her to climb over the fence.
Also would have been really fucking silly to watch.
She couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast.
I mean, it's possible. I thought it went up to the ceiling. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. How did Miss Skye not get away? Because I'm a fairy type. What? 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 Rester, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky! Actually surprised she climbed the fence. Clearly never met a very angry lunch lady. No, I can't say I have. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word?
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... Choose ask further. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. Wet?
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Star.
Wet and horny. You know, like salmon going upstream. It's breeding time. She prosecuted her first attempt to use the phone hanging on the wall. What? Why?
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone.
Why wouldn't she just start with... Okay. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? I'm with the judge on that memory like a salmon thing. Yeah, it's wet and horny.
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Alright, Lana's phone updated. Keep pressing away. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Aha! I was going to ask the same thing.
I only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. She then picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled out her own cell phone. She pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. During that time,
you climbed over the chain link fence.
Damn. You want to, like, tone down the, like, I mean, I didn't think... Must you do everything so provocatively? Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this?
What is it, Mr. Wright?
He seems real, like, I've got something here for this. So let me refresh my memory. At an 518. Word muffler. You saw her do this. Memo. No, that's not it. Not a clue. Pretty ladies. Oh, yeah, all the women in this game are extremely pretty. Also, why didn't Lana just use her own cell phone in the first place? It's not just a floor plan. How could she see behind the partition? Ah, well, obviously that as well. Was that... press one more statement for the dialogue. She made to escape. Could you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on pâté de foie gras. She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum?
There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime.
But it's strange.
What's that?
If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way?
The other... Ah! Parking lot entrance!
That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries.
I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So this guy tried to run.
I'm sorry my sister's so suspicious, Mr. Wright.
Not as sorry as I am.
But she didn't do it, you have to believe me.
Okay, so, saw it all. You clearly didn't, because of the floor plan. There's a big old fucking wall there. That actually is the answer. So, good job again, 7-9. Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal, but it clearly is not, Edgeworth. Who would have thought you'd have been my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? I am a beacon of logical reasoning. Clearly, yes. You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Boy, you know, that's not as threatening as I bet you think it is. Ahem. Look at the floor plans. Ahem. Sorry, that's, we like to have fun around here. That's norm. Okay. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. Unlike Miss Skye, who you didn't see. Got her! Okay. Ahem. Emergency phone was on the backside of the partition. If indeed you were in D block, you couldn't have seen it!
Order! Order! What's the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. Cue the dance music! She's not coughing up ones, she's coughing up lies. And that's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... Okay, so I actually have to afford to get this wrong. I need to get the lunchbox. I believe where she saw it is the correct answer. So I need to say what she saw and the order of events first. She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Skye using that emergency phone.
It does seem hard to imagine that she could have. Very logical.
What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox?
Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would Miss Star lie like that?
Eh?
Why would she say that my sister tried to use the phone but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant?
Oh. Dang, she's right.
I mean, maybe she really did see her trying to use the emergency phone.
I see no room for doubt here. Thank you very much for the patooey on rice. What? That's watermelon. Oh, because they're rice. You're spitting out watermelon seeds. Got it.
Mr. Wright, and I thought you had something there.
Ugh. One more try. I see it in your eyes. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Tell us exactly what lie the witness has told this court. Can't afford to get this wrong. But they actually lied about the order of events. She lied about the order of events. Miss Skye used the emergency phone before the murder.
I see. I hadn't thought of that.
That took the wind out of her sails.
Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory again, but why would anyone use the emergency phone before a murder?
Eh? Just when you think he can't sink any lower, he amazes us. I applaud you, Mr. Wright. You ordered the orange peel lunchbox, right? That's gross. That's just an orange peel on rice.
I guess that teaches me not to get excited before the evidence.
Ugh. One more try. Okay. So the actual answer is where she saw it. Orange peel on rice. Yeah, not appetizing. Alright, I'm gonna get, God damn. The next thing I need to choose is distance to the crime, and I'll get another lunchbox. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it.
Pointless to lie, I see.
But, say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone, it would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location! A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I've ever heard one. I'm more of a banana peel on rice kind of dude. Ah, well, you know, you're a man of taste, so it makes sense. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it! Wait, what? Phoenix, that might be the worst thing to say as a defense attorney ever.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard to now is still pointless and points in one direction. Place Miss Star witnessed the crime was here! It'd have to be from, like... Oh, but, wait a minute. So, the picture is from, like, over here. But I think what she did is exit, run around, like, out over here, come back in and see it from here. Like, she saw the phone thing from over here, clearly. But she would have seen the crime from over here, right? Like, that makes the most sense? I want to say she saw the crime because she took the photo through the fence. I can slide. Oh, okay. She was in 2 different locations simultaneously, naturally. So normally, I mean, I guess if it weren't for the fence, I'd say she witnessed the crime from over here, even though the angle shows the trunk of the car over here or whatever, but... Yeah, it's really that big old chain link fence that's the issue. I wish I could see the evidence for this bit. Where'd she witness the crime? Because I don't know what they want, because, I mean, over here makes sense. She was the fence. Alright, what if, let me take it back a step. What if she wasn't over here to begin with? What if, It wouldn't make any sense, but my thought is, what if she was in the security room, saw her killing the guy over here, ran down to parking lot B for whatever reason, got the photo, and then ran over here? Because that works. I mean, it's weird that she would do that, but that checks out. It makes more sense than... Because that tracks. She'd have seen the crime. That's only about 6 feet high. The security room's above it. Click right next to Edgeworth's car. She witnessed it from right here. She's the killer, Your Honor. This DLC case is bullshit. I'm gonna say, because this makes sense. That's only a 6-foot wall. She has seen past it. She'd have run down, burst out of here, and seen her on the phone, and then grabbed her. Then I don't know how she got the picture. One of her lunchboxes is a camera? Maybe it just grabbed the... I don't know. I'm gonna say security room.
Take that!
This is the only place where she could have been!
The security guard room?
Indeed, the security guard room is an underground parking lot well positioned. Yeah, this is the bit that's throwing me, because clearly through a fence, and she's in lot A, with the oil drum behind her. The car is clearly right there. So somehow... God, I don't know how that works, though. The underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the 2nd floor, and you can see the entire lot.
She would not have been able to see the emergency phone from there. Or she would have been able to see it. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in Block A. The only place she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunchbox to your boyfriend in the security guard room, correct? Secret funhouse, I mean parking lot. Ah, yes. Good times. Good old times, that. Well, Miss Star. Good old Danganronpa V2. How many years have I been getting the better of men to think the tables could be turned? Ah, how the turntables. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? She's talking about Miss Skye.
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? Doesn't make sense.
Huh?
You just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. Objection! It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. What the... Since when? She knows this. She wouldn't risk it without good reason.
Tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me? We have perjury here? Yeah, what? Since when?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
She was a detective that became a lunch lady. She got fired. We don't know why yet. But she was, very sort of dishonorably discharged, if you will. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B-Block. It must make a vile difference. What could change that? I need to pick distance to the crime for a lunchbox. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. Objection! My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one has to look at the floor plans. It becomes quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. Objection! What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. He's not doing the and like leaning down. I missed that. That was good fun. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. How long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye?
Well, witness?
You. Yes. You ordered the squid wheels, right? Nope. Can't say I did. The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend!
Get that on a shirt! What the fuck, Judge? He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Ah, now it all makes sense. Aha, yes. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in Block B.
That's quite the detour!
It probably took me at least 5 minutes? Would you have a nap in there? What the fuck? It's a hallway.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. Oh, well, shit.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you care for another caviar lunch?
Absolutely!
Uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something.
Do I have any evidence to stop this? Yeah, raise an objection. Objection! And I get a jumbo lunchbox for my troubles. And then there's yet another fucking statement full of lunchboxes. And then, no lunchboxes for a while. 5 minutes between witnessing a murder and the arrest. Think about that. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. Wisdom from Phoenix Wright, ladies and gentlemen. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. What? A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah. But only if the water's already boiling. Quiet, 7-9. He's on a roll.
Well then, seems to come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant, and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated the witness on account of her professional history.
We did it! We screwed.
I'm gonna read what I thought she said.
We did it! We screwed that cunt, right?
I read that as cunt. Excuse me.
That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? You used that bit.
That's the one you tried to foist off on me.
I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? Alrighty. No, yeah, I mean, there's 2 more lunchboxes. Press Angel on every statement. Got it. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now. To the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. The other blood, excuse me, matched that of defendant Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. So you just really were holding evidence. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. And the judge is just cool with this. This should be inadmissible. Because the fucking witness, proven to have a grudge against the defendant, is submitting it without any sort of prosecuting investigation. I don't care that she used to be a detective. This is inadmissible. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed, didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules. Thank you! Jesus Christ! Must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Yeah, given you're not a cop.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Mainly because he just got to shut this woman up. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. Yeah, used to. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by members of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. There's that pose.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen.
You could at least study some evidence law. Really?
Really should.
Prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears the evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against your witness.
Anything to ensure that guilt are properly judged.
Okay. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
How many boyfriends does she have? That's got to be like 4 or 5 at this point. Is she a lunch lady or a whorehouse? You can be both. She's just a polygamist lunch lady, you know. One of those real interesting Phoenix Wright style characters. Why'd you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results. How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. She'll also have a job at a chemical plant. Unconfirmed. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing, manipulating evidence.
That's what you're doing! You're literally doing all of that!
You're holding evidence away from court officials, falsifying and arranging your testimony. What the fuck are you talking about? God, I hate you. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. Or just not be a bitch. This one, the suspect is admitting she did it. Yeah, thank you. Phoenix, please speak your mind.
False testimony is most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr.
I don't know if that's true.
Let's just get this over with.
Now to the matter of the victim's shoe. You found the shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch who snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe is my secret weapon if that should happen. See the fashionable basket I have it in here. It carries more than lunch boxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you in your lunch bag, really.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of a crime. Now tell us what you did next.
2 types of blood were found. One is the victim's. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. Also, she's blowing the blood splatter guy.
The shoe does appear to have a blood stain on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. Other blood type, matched Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with the blood test? You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie. That? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB, and the extremely rare 5th type, I-type blood. Myself, I'm O, so. O positive, specifically. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. Wow. Got her.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types of all the blood tests out there, which means we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person, or so I hear.
That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results, but they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skye's.
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties it directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. It's flawless evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? You, wow. Had me until the word guts there, the PFG. Yeah, I got the peppered fish guts. There's one more lunchbox to get. The evidence lunchbox. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup.
Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe?
A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Yes, there is a problem. If I'm not imagining things, is it in the... It is. Let me just check this. I believe that's what we need to be looking at. The blood on the bottom of the shoe. Ah, there's blood here too! On the sole of the shoe? It's got to be the victim's. Must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood. It's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. So that's what we're supposed to have done. I admit when I'm interviewing Angel Star, I'm using a guide because I want to make sure I don't miss the achievement associated with her. That's a long, annoying, complicated achievement. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's a critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction! That gleam in your eye. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish guts now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with the evidence.
Sole of the shoe, I want to say. And by I want to say, I mean, blood on the bottom, yep. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Ignoring that obvious threat, there is quite a lot of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? And now it's the crime scene photo. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found at the scene of the crime?
Aha!
As you can see, there are no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. We can't, the text box is in the way, but we just, there you go, okay. As you can see, no bloody footprints. That contradicts your claim about a shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Order, order! Well, witness.
What? Huh?
Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask the question, why wasn't there a footprint?
Oh,
That's true. That's the reason there wasn't a footprint.
yeah, he was already in the car when he got stabbed. I don't know.
I think Mr. Wright.
I don't know why it's not there. Maybe I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
Edgeworth saving the day? Or ruining it for us? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's a vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to what she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, that one. A leopard woman. Did we need to recall the leopard woman bit? And I thought that was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt at the lunchbox factory. Rawr! Ah, yes. 7-9 and his affinity for leopard woman. Yo. Fuck. What's her name? Thundercats? It's Lion-O and Panthera? Chitara? What is it? Whatever. Point is, that's 7-9's waifu. That's the bit. I couldn't remember her name. I remember Snarf and Lion-O. That's it. So angry.
My fists are lethal weapons. Snarf, snarf. In the Great War of Snarf Rebellion.
What war? Good old Mumra. I love that scene.
Well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Okay, but she did that after you took the photo, so... Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it right. Do you want to know why the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
Aha! You don't mean?
Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. War.
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So,
That's when my sister's blood got on the shoe.
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. What?
Mr. Wright, do something, please!
what? What can I do? Your sister confessed to the damn crime and tried to conceal it. Cough Up Queen is quite a shady character. Yeah, she's kind of terrible at her job. Alright. But... Enough. There is no need to further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecutor's side. She could have been lying about the water.
The court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye.
Great pause for dramatic effect there, Judgy. Little girl, what did you just say?
Huh? Me?
Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecutor's side?
Well, yeah, you are.
I mean, a bit.
You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints.
Well. I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. What's in it?
Wait! Witness, don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough up... Oh, shit. Your threats don't scare the cough up queen. Look at this photograph.
A photograph?
Stop hiding these. What's wrong with you? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest. The white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. White, wait, look at the asphalt on this photo. What? What about it? Hey, it's clearly wet!
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyways. I'm sorry, Mia. Right. Wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. Was that added to the record? Nope, not yet. This is the last piece of evidence. Heh, wet towel. Heh, good one. Very well. Yo, 7-9, what the hell? There was literally water on the floor. What are you doing, man? She literally dumped water onto the floor. It's a crucial part of the trial. This could not be more floor water if it was wearing a floor water t-shirt and a floor water hat that says I went to get some floor water and all I got was this t-shirt. I'm over water. It's all about Jiro now. All right. Hey, suit yourself. We'll see if you're singing that song next time I play another Prince of Persia game. The last one.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Or, Gen 3 Pokemon. We'll see that as well. I am enjoying what I'm seeing about the Gen 4 remakes for, like, the HMs and everything. Your Honor, wait!
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No! Then it will be too late.
Look at this photograph! The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
Okay, I lost it there. Is there floor water in the Gen 4 remakes? No, the Gen 3 Pokemon games are kind of famous for having too much water, one might say. It just made me think about Gen 4, talking about Gen 3. Until we get each piece of evidence its proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Oh, okay. There's a problem. Right or wrong, I'll go ahead with this. Now he's just pulling shit out of thin air.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph.
Well, he's been stabbed once. That checks out. Bloody shoe. There's this thing in the muffler. Muffler, huh? Hey, Star. Are you blind? Like, you heard her mention muffler, and yeah, okay, you thought her scarf that she's always wearing. Sure, fine. You didn't see this fucking thing stuffed in the tailpipe? Like Beverly Hills Cop style? What the fuck is wrong? Okay. The problem in this photograph is here. That was my last... Yeah, the evidence lunchbox was the last lunchbox for this bit. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor.
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this...
Judge, come on. A muffler is also a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see! Ah, I see. What's that suspicious-looking claw sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there was something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? I mean, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Are you fucking serious? Objection! Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. Unless Edgeworth drives around with cloth shoved up his tailpipe, not a euphemism, it's kind of important to the fucking murder we're talking about. Muffler in a muffler. Ah, yes. The old muffler trick. His ass to be more precise, but in your defense, Phoenix's skinny ass is about as thin as air. Touché. In fact, you've already told us why it's important to this case. You said as much in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to the case.
Okay, yeah, the phone. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimonies. Muffler. Arg! Yarg! You know, for all the times they've spelled Arg, I don't think they've ever actually gotten Arg's name right. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence! Wah! Woo! Arg! Arg! Shouldn't you be happy that something you did resulted in vital... Okay, well, whatever.
Well, seems we'll have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered, here we do a disservice to the law itself. Have the car at the crime scene inspected once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so. Whew! That was close. But we made it. At least for now. Yeah, it's spelled with 3 R's. There you go. Also, 2 A's is really the one I keep noticing.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all.
He's still hungry? What? To be continued. All right. Okay. When's the next lunchbox coming up in this damn thing? Lunchbox. Yeah, it's day 1 investigations. That's her on the witness stand. Okay, so next one is during day 2 investigation. Okay. I guess I will save my progress. So, no guide until day 2 investigation. My name is spelled with no A's and no R's. It's true. You're a series of numbers. My name has an A. Well, the lad part has an A. Token doesn't have an A or an R. Neither does Phoenix.
Mr. Wright,
Right has the R, obviously. Huh? What?
are trials always like this with you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there?
Pretty much. Except today, we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister, anyway?
Apparently, she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Probably something to do with a piece of cloth.
So, this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Name is just numbers. Why would it be spelled with letters? Well, I mean, he's just stating a fact. Oh, this guy. Hola, partner. Howdy. They say you show a red cloth to a bull and it'll fire up its temper. Well, that's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least.
Officer Marshall.
Thought I'd come take a look and see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They got the whole ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there, anyway? All the police I've seen the last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about... don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worried about that chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
Pretty much every single case of Phoenix is just him trying to survive one pit of despair after another. Not true. The Larry Butts one was pretty easy. Everyone after that, certainly. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? Eh? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In a photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf.
So Miss Starr wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about that time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. Sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. Well, these photographs were in color. Yo, what the hell are you talking about? All photographs are always black and white, obviously.
So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee! You're an idiot. That just ain't true. In Larry's case, the pit of despair Phoenix trying to survive was Larry himself. Ah, well, fair enough. Yes, but if only. 7-9, I think you're talking crazy. A color photograph? That's insane. That's just a painting, and those take too long, man. You gotta think. There's no way to do it. I'd like to resume. What's up? Judge keeps taking a look over at the prosecutor. Oh. Is there something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue and your lips are purple. You're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're double over. Your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
What the hell? Well, then I believe it's time we continued on with the trial. Wow, Judge. Yeah, no, he was doing his Red Riding Hood bit. During our This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? Oh, this guy. I remember you. Cue the organ music, baby. What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. I love this guy. Have the voice ready for him and everything.
Hey, the temperature just rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in.
Wow. It's impressive. Who on earth is he? He's kind of terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. Ah, it's you! More like cue the shellfish beard. Cue in the shellfish beard. What? God damn, dude.
Oh, hey! Sorry I'm late, Udgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Udgy? How you been? Swim much these days? Ah, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy schmizzy, Udgy, my boy. You've got to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
Yes. His beard looks like shellfish, a bit right around the chin area. Kinda, I guess, yeah.
Udgy seems to be his nickname for the judge.
Yo, I'm stealing it. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you?
So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Huh? Thanks.
So sorry about our little worthy there giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly!
Little Worthy?
Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police?
Chief of Police?
He's a top-ranking police officer in the entire district.
Jesus. God damn, dude.
Name's Gant, Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow.
Seriously, his beard and chin looks like a shellfish. I mean, the chief of police can. Oh, okay. I was looking at the judge's beard. Oh, yeah, you know what? I see it. I think it's just kind of serving to accentuate the sharp angles.
I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's...
My sister's muffler.
So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Skye really was wearing that muffler.
But to think it was stuffed into the exhaust pipe. Oh, on little Worthy's car, no less.
God, the pauses, man. They're so... The pauses are so weird with this guy.
It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, isn't it? Chief! What kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth! How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigations are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me?
Huh. That's gotta be a first for Edgeworth.
Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking the signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes.
Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at that, the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not.
Could you open it for me, I wonder?
Okay. I think all you have to do is push the switch at the top and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I won't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point it at people anymore.
Come on, just hurry up and open it.
Yeah, alright, fine. Yeah, as chilly as he is, Gant seems like a dude I'd never want to make angry. He's rather terrifying. Yeah, he, is, SL9 2? Okay. What's this about?
There's a small tag on this knife.
It seems to say SL9 2.
What does that mean?
Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 of DL6 fame.
But it's strange.
Huh? What is?
I'm not certain. I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow.
Anyway. It's the filing number for me. Uh-oh.
Wow, don't scare me like that.
DL6. I don't think it's DL6, given it's SL9. And then 2 after that. I'm the one who's scared!
Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off.
And the dark red stain. Blood. Switchblade. Found the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Uh-oh. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one, really. God, what a terrifying man. Just the outfit, too. The red cross, could you even call that a tie? On a black suit with a double-breasted orange coat and black gloves. Like, Jesus Christ, man. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between the knife and Woodman. That was a bad day at the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department scene. What a mess! At the time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Hey, GD Slap, what's going on? And Adrian Jask. His beard's an upside-down seashell. Yeah, you're the second person to bring that up. And you know what the 3 seashells are for. You're the first person to reference Demo Man, though, so shout out to you. Sedgworth had his car investigated. Yeah, we're on Damon Gant, who's just arrived.
There was a murder at the police department? A detective?
That's hush-hush information, Auntie. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Except for this courtroom full of witnesses, I guess. Oops. Wait a second. You said 5:15? That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Order, order!
Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. Chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking.
Well, yeah, clearly it was coordinated, but okay. I point exactly. I point out his beard looked like a seashell. Nice Demo Man reference, yeah. Although we'd need 3 Damon Gants for it to properly work. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Right, of course. Alright, so, this knife. Let me get a look at it. It is right here. I have to prove this knife is in some way related. Do we have fingerprint analysis on this? Because there's clearly smudges on the handle here. SL92. Enrique has to see this. God damn it. Alright, that's done. Anyway, knife is special, can't say how here. Whoa, 3D, power of the Nintendo DS. That's the power of the Nintendo DS emulated on the Xbox Series X. Power to the players. But yes, this case was made to show off the awesome powers of the DS, along with moving cutscenes as well. How did none of them gather there were 2 detectives murdered at the same time in different places, that either one of them wasn't actually a murder that was occurring? The Xbox Series X, correct! I was lucky enough to get my hands on one day 1. I spent an hour refreshing Amazon to pre-order that shit. Ah yes, the old touch. I miss the touchscreen. Before, you know, it was on the Switch and was shitty. How many kidneys did it cost? Well, actually, I didn't get it from a scalper. I got it from Amazon, so, the normal price, or the supposed to be normal price, anyway. Excuse me, special. Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto. Can't say that now, not that. We've established the knife in Goodman's chest. What is this? Was this knife? Now, why is there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery.
And like a mystery, it's wrapped up in something. A muffler! Normal price. Thought that was just a legend. Again, I refreshed Amazon for an hour for it. If memory serves, case was added for the sole purpose of showing off the Nintendo DS's abilitoires. Also, a lot of 3D and stuff on this case. Yeah, a lot of rotating evidence to look at it. I think they did that again for the ones on the normal DS before they went 3DS were the 2 Edgeworth games and the Apollo Justice game. I think that's all of them. I might be forgetting one. But yeah, a lot of it was like rotating evidence and lots more processing and visual power. This knife was found in the scene of the crime! They also remade all of these games, the original trilogy, for the 3DS. These were originally on Game Boy Advance. I think you made it. I think that makes it connected to this case, don't you?
See, there's a lot of things that go on in the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine the knife while we can, Righto.
Not sure about that nickname. Evidence that links the knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting a piece of evidence that had me stumped all this time. See how are things So how are things down at the department? It was a bad day, weren't in any shape for an investigation. Something happened at the police department too, huh?
You got a good look in your eye there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry.
So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed?
Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy with that Lana case and all.
Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? He's really fucking giving Edgeworth the runaround. Detective was killed by a police department. On the same day that the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department?
That's a fact! Surprising, isn't it, Udgy?
I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto.
I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one! This kid's sharp! Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
Oh, shit. Where was it? We know that, maybe, kinda. How were they killed? He told us when they died already. 5:15. How? I assume it's the knife. That's why you brought it here. And we know they were killed in the police department. Should I ask where? Like, specifically in the police department? So, tell me, where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
The evidence room?
You wouldn't know about the evidence room, would you, Righto?
Wasn't I just there with, like, Von Karma a case ago? Or was that... Oh, that was Records Room. I can't say I've heard of it. Really? I guess I should ask again once I learn a bit more about this evidence room.
What? There's something stranger about that than the place where the body was found.
What? Time of crime, 5:15. 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office.
What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances?
Coincidence?
This is just my gut feeling, but I say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening.
Again, unless it was fucking planned. Although we did just kind of prove it wasn't premeditated, so maybe they... Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. Not officially linked here, so I can't talk much about it. How can you say there's no connection?
How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand?
Try to understand, Righto.
Still not sure about this nickname. Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there's something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office. Could he please stop fondling hese hair? It's like a nervous tick. He's playing with it. But I admit it is distracting. The police can't be coincidence.
And that knife! What was it doing there?
I better check this knife out. I mean, I did. Switchblade. Knife special, can't say how. This was evidence to prove. So is this where I present, this thing? Yeah, found in the car's trunk. Objection! Yeah, okay. Wait a second! Ah, at last! An honest-to-goodness objection! This knife. This has something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
Ha ha! An honest-to-goodness what do you mean from Aji? This is great! Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL9.
And this is important. Why?
Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. And if you turn it upside down...
What's this? 6 minus 7s 12/2?
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside. Hold on, let me see here. Upside down, you say. So I just rotate it like this, and... Oh!
That's how I picture that playing out. What a twist. It's fully how I picture that playing out. The printed name on the meadow makes it look like it's right side up. I'd go ahead and say it was, unless premeditated crime. Chances of two detectives from the state precinct dying in 2 law enforcement offices of the same district is abysmally low. At the same time, yeah, in 2 completely across... They said it's like a 30-minute cab drive, right? So 30 minutes away from each other by car with no traffic, 2 detectives are killed at the same time. And I assume the same way, which is why he brought the knife. The name printed on this memo makes it look like it's right side up. Red rum is backwards. You know what it spells backwards? Subscribe to twitch.tv/tokenlad. We'd love to have you. Don't fact check me on that. Just assume that's correct. But turn it around and what do you get? Wow, it really is almost like that. Ah! Ha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down.
SL9. That's the same thing as written on the knife's tag.
Yeah. Funny that.
Order, order. Well, Chief?
Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. Yeah, I won. You brought the knife, dude. You wanted me to win. I win? Ah, what game is this guy playing? Right, okay, so it's connected. So this knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice, good show, little Worthy. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So the knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edward's car.
Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
But there is! We just... What? What is... What do you want from me? Oh, there's one I needed to, like, double press or something. He's, like, not at liberty to... work in any shape. Oh, yeah, what happened? I need to, like... This guy a grandpa? Yeah, why not? Subscribe to twitch.tv/tokenlad. We'd love to have you backwards as... Hey, ever I love do Dalnekat. Bus. Or, you know, red rum. It's, you know, depends how you pronounce it. Something happened to the police department. There was, like, one where he's, like, I needed to press him more on the evidence locker. And he's like, oh, I've never heard of that. So obviously I can't ask a follow-up question. Which statement was that? Sounds like Klingon. Eh, sure, why not? Just arrested them. Unanswered question. Kid Sharp. Here's the deal, I'll tell you one thing. Where was he found? Okay, here we go. Can't speak on where the corpse was. I can say the crime took place in the police department evidence room. Wait a second. I've heard of that. This feels like an unnecessary step, but okay.
The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now?
The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from a department's evidence room. How old is Gant, I wonder? 65. He looks good for 65. These guys were all 30s, 29, 16. You got them 17 years. Okay. Not even 17 years apart. Because I'm doing my math poorly. 13 years apart. 30, 20. Edgeworth's the youngest guy here, not counting the clearly underage high school child. Knife was evidence in a case stolen from the department's evidence room. 16. Damn it! Yeah, I know. Shakes fist. She also said she's nearly... She'll be 16 later this year, so... Not even 16. Cappuccino Kupla. I don't know Klingon at all. Still remember the one Klingon joke from Freakazoid. I saw Freakazoid. Great show. Don't remember Klingon. Or, you know, what you're referring to. Connection between the two cases.
You seem happy, Mr. Wright.
Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. What do you want from me? You're up to rise from the ashes. What? We've established the link. What the fuck are... Yes, it is. What are you talking about? Of course it's linked. Look at this thing. Apparently not. What? It was a Freaka panel episode. Oh, yeah. Never seen Freakazoid. Great stuff. Shown in the 90s. Nope, it's not linked. It's so clearly linked. Can I press that and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Chief, the defense position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Thank you. Jesus Christ. It's not that, isn't it? I think it is. You don't say. Out with it, Righto. You brought the damn knife. You came down here bringing the knife with the tag on it. What are you talking about? It says SL9 on the guy's note and the knife. The whole reason you're here is because it's connected. What is happening? Oh, you don't count. You're an idiot. Can't be mad that you don't get it. Out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. I found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number of the evidence's tag of the knife. Thank you. And we also know the detective murdered at the police department was killed in the very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
Boy, thanks, Judge. Huh. You spooky motherfucker. God damn. You two make a good pair. Unless I'm thinking of a different connection from another part of the trial. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Boy, maybe Edgeworth's right. You should evaluate your team. Chief! I request you release the information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. This fucking guy. Hard to stay mad at him. He's just so... very scary. What? Really?
Who would have guessed?
It's like, did anyone ever see Fairy Tale? And there was a bit, I haven't watched Fairy Tail in ages, but it went on hiatus for a while there, just kind of in the middle of its season. It went on a break for like a year and a half or so. Came back and I didn't think it was as good, so I kind of gave up on it 10 or so episodes in. There was one bit, though, where like they're talking to the ghost of a dragon, and they're wanting answers from him. And he goes, I would never say anything to humans like you. And the fun animal sidekick character, Happy the cat, goes, actually, I'm a cat. The dragon's like, very well, it all started 1,000 years ago. It's like, yeah, alright, fair enough. That's a solid joke. Why are we still pressing you? Move past this bullshit! If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might as well try and get what I can out of it. ID number, sure. I don't understand why we are still in this fucking testimony. Like 5 evidence presentings ago, we should have moved on to something new. We've established this. How about the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. I assume that's a joke. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. Number is 5842189. Just need to check real quick. Well, that throws a wrench in the works, but hey, guess what? Have we established a connection yet? Enough for you to give us the deets, old man. My God. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. Drives me nuts. 8, 2... I can't do it. Come on, Judge. You didn't even get the first number right. What a coincidence. What a twist. Does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim in the police department is 5842189. That tells me something, alright. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? Take that! Witness! What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. I sure hope Tommy picks me up with a limo. Can't wait to get fucked later. I assume that's what he's implying. Ahem. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news. Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh! Is it your... I'm really tired. Oh, I'm tired, Judge. You gotta... Oh, baby. You gotta stop asking dumb questions like that. I'm not a cop, Your Honor. No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto! Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this... Can we get a new judge? Where's Courtney, huh? Come on now, she'd be all over this like white on rice. Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from Chief earlier. That started with an 8-2. I forgot. You didn't even get the first number right. Again. The number the Chief of Police gave us was 5842189. Objection! Wait a second, Wright? What does this... I have no idea, Edgeworth. Mean? That's what I want to know. The two ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Ho, ho, ho! Sharp as a tack, righto! Sharp as a tack! Yeah, right now, Gant is one of those chicks that flirts with you all the time, takes the gifts and money, and refuses to give up by the end of it. He really is just jerking me along at this point.
But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. You can't have him. Give him back. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed in the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time! How many times can this one man die is one of my favorite lines from this case. Fair enough. That's impossible! So what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location? Being killed twice in a single day. Bad luck, that.
Order! Order! Chief, what does this mean?
No. What I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret fine, but I'm prosecutor in charge of this case. Now just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Oh, didn't you hear me? Yeah, again, that's a bit terrifying. The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth. Uh-oh. They're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our officer Meekins who brought you the news. Oh. Right. That. Yeah, I believe Edgeworth said if Lana Skye's name isn't on it, I don't care. Officer Meekins? Oof, yep, uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before?
We've met him, Emma. Come on now.
Wait, aha!
Got him. Uh-oh, yep.
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises, sir? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got a report, sir.
Poor Edgeworth.
You don't mean him?
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe.
But your officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Skye incident.
Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report.
Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
Meekins is an interesting character. I'm honestly not sure if I love him or hate him. He's not appeared very much. I know he's in this case in the first Edgeworth game, and I don't know if he's in anything else, honestly. In any case, this is a serious error. Gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning at the court as evidence.
Then that stare. That is a piercing stare. He's in Apollo Justice, I believe. Oh, maybe. I don't remember that game so well. Like, at all. No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy.
What?
What was that second rule of evidence law? Challenge. More like chin legend. Haha, got him! From so much shade.
Well, Mr. Wright,
Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit an list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So, what does that mean?
Yeah, neither were the fucking shoes and the photo that Star had. What's your point? I guess it was related, wasn't it? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proved by Righto over there. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. He's so unused to getting praised.
No!
Well, Edgeworth's been made to look like a buffoon. That takes doing.
Seems we've come to the end of this trial.
I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do, you'd better get results this time. Really. You have my profound apologies, sir.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
Interstar does have one or two boyfriends in the police, so she could theoretically get them approved. Approved, yes, but as old Gant there just pointed out, definitely not on the list because Edgeworth was surprised by them. So approved, yes, but definitely at that point they are related to the case, so she could have, surprised evidence to them, I guess. She shouldn't have, it's obviously inadmissible in a real-world setting, but in this world, apparently she could have.
I don't think there's ever been an error as serious as this in the history of this court.
Way to fucking rub it in, Judge.
I'll grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned.
Oof. Tough luck there, Edgy. Huh, boy. This is a long case. That was just day one. That took 2 hours and 15 minutes, and that was just trial day one. Jesus Christ. It says day two, but it's the first day of trial. It's weird. Day one was investigating, and day two was the trial. Need more. Oh, we're still going. We got 45 minutes left of this stream. We're still going. But anyway, we're back with the day two investigation where I need to look at goddamn lunchboxes again. I hate this achievement.
Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused.
Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce... Let's wrap up for anyone who just walked into the chat. Victim Bruce Goodman was stabbed to death at 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room.
What's the "and the evidence room" part? Prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're gonna find out, or try to at least.
All right, let's do this.
Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show.
I mean, you've tinted them pink, so they're at least partly for show. Wouldn't be the first time he was, too. Old Bag is pretty much the only other character that makes him look like a buffoon and a depressed schoolboy who just wants to hang himself. Yeah, but for different reasons. Old Bag's hitting on him, and that's not something he can help. He's just a damn handsome man. Gant here just walked in and absolutely demolished any sense of pride and air of authority that Edgeworth had over the courtroom at that point by just constantly berating him and blaming everything that was like, we should have known this by now. Well, we tried to tell you, but you ignored it on that guy. Yeah, Old Bag made everyone feel stupid. It's a universal thing.
Let's go. Science awaits us.
Oh, wow, we're already here. Even after the case in 92 when the bailiff mistakenly gave his gun to the defendant in the Shooty Shoot massacre.
Even after the case in 92, when the bailiff mistakenly gave his gun to the defendant in the Shooty Shoot massacre, the defendant killed everyone in the courtroom. Still, only the second biggest mistake compared to what you did, Mr. Edgeworth. Telling an officer to go away, you're busy. Very shameful.
Wouldn't, Manfred von Karma kind of be a bigger embarrassment? The flawless prosecutor and everything, riddled down to turns out he's a murderer and, a child abuser, probably. If you want to count emotional abuse done to Edgeworth. I'm gonna just assume.
I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there.
Who cares? Then how do you know it happened? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in the evidence room. No biggie. Nice sarcasm there, Phoenix. Sounds right to me, and he would have gotten away with it if he had one more day. That damn calendar. Yeah, he really... I think he wanted to, he wanted Edgeworth to go down for killing his dad, like, in a court of law, so he was trying to get that passed. But if he had really just, like, let it go, put his pride aside for a little bit, and let Edgeworth live with the guilt rather than prove it in a court of law, no one would have ever found out. He'd have gotten away scot-free.
Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it.
That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Definitely emotionally neglected. Oh yeah, absolutely.
My sister erasing evidence at a crime scene? Never.
Even though she says she didn't get along, Emma really likes her sister.
That's not it at all.
I thought that! What?
It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her.
Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed away all the way.
Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that grin for?
This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid.
I believe this is maybe the first time this has appeared? Might show up in other games in 2 and 3, I don't remember. Certainly the first time it's appeared in this game. Luminol?
Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
Lord knows they use the hell out of this stuff in every other game. Yeah, it's a first. Edgy Jr. accidentally shot Von Karma. I think he wanted Edgy Jr. to go down for that, more so than his father's deeds. Well, then he would have, like, used the bullet. No, he wasn't trying to get him for his father's deeds. He was trying to make Edgeworth look like he shot his own father. I think that's what he was trying to do. Part of that might have been because he shot Von Karma, but, you know. I think he was trying to make it look like Edgeworth had shot his own dad. Wouldn't the police have already done those tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet.
Depends on the country you're in. Not Japan or America, but, you know, I think Germany you can drink. We're sting bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it.
Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses.
Huh? You got an extra pair of those things? Oh, shit. Yo, what does it look like? I gotta see this shit. First and last time, as far as I can tell. I'm in the third case of the third game. Ah, okay, so they added this for this. They use it a hell of a lot in the newer games. You know what? That doesn't change a thing. It looks exactly the same. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but that changed absolutely nothing. I kind of thought that would be way cooler. My mistake. Sorry, everyone. Even if Edgeworth did shoot Gregory at 9, he wouldn't have gone to prison in any logical country. No, but this is Phoenix Wrightland.
Just like this, see? Press the A button to spray it on.
This was way cooler when you could, like, touch the screen for it, by the way. I believe in Germany you can drink at 18, I could be wrong. I think the idea is you can drink at 13, or you can drive at 13. You have to choose if you want a driver's license or a drinking license. And then, whichever one you don't take, you get the other one at 18, I think. Drink beer at 16. Ah, 16, not 13, my bad. Well, there you go.
Okay, let's find some bloodstains.
Aha, here we go. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So this is a blood stain.
It's so ugh.
Emma, you're faking. Queasy around blood?
This is my first time seeing real blood.
I'll assume she means, like, from a murder victim and not, you know, she's never cut her hand or anything. Scientific investigation in action.
Okay, well, we definitely know this is a blood stain. But, doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course.
What's odd about this, scientifically? Maybe the location, the amount. If he was stabbed once, it just dripped down on him, right? So, you know, the location? Why, the bloodstain's location, of course. It's elementary.
Huh? Why is it elementary? I mean, I would think if there was a fight, you'd expect bloodshed here.
I suppose you might think that.
Come on, Mr. Wright, we're all counting on you.
Really? It's the amount? Okay, sure. It's the amount of blood.
I definitely think so.
Or ketchup. What? Or anything. It could be a ketchup stain. It's true. Luminol is known to react to ketchup. 16-year-old girl we're talking about, assuming she's seen blood. Yeah. I miss Oktoberfest. It's spelled like that in Germany. Yeah, well, sure. That was last month, I believe, is Oktoberfest.
I definitely think so.
Georgia as well. That's where I'm from. Wine is a bit of an exception. Georgia has a big, rich history of wine, so all people drink it from age earlier than 18. You miss Giro. Yo, Bible thumps for Giro.
I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe.
It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have had to have been some more blood than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark the floor plans where we found a blood stain, okay?
Yeah, alright. I like that one button on her lapel there that's just pogging. Oh!
See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
Yeah. And this stuff's pretty handy too.
I saved up my allowance to buy that.
What allowance? Your parents are dead. Sorry to remind you of that, but what?
We can't be sure if the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with the view of the case.
Now let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day.
Yeah! Feels like a really investigating a crime now, doesn't it?
Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! Ah! Spray. Ounce from sister. Maybe. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Is that a come on? Because... I mean, really.
Miss Starr!
You only trust your own eyes. Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Not much of a wine person. I haven't found wine I like. I really like white wines. I'm not a red guy. I got the day-old deli box. Alright, let's present some evidence. I need to present Goodman's note. That one.
What do you think about this?
The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective of the case, you know.
Really?
That knife was evidence from the case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal to the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected. SL9 isn't over, not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? I'm getting options to talk to her. And tell me about this crime photo. It's not DL6, goddammit! Not much of a wine person, I too prefer white over red. I prefer sweeter things in general. Oh, hell yeah. When it comes to wine, I like drier, so I like a nice dry white. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So he went straight to the scene of the crime. I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took that photo, yes.
In other words, 5 minutes after the crime.
Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were.
The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem.
I'm inclined to agree. Listen, little girl. I had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. You're a lunch lady. Just like that time. That time? Alright. So now I... Okay. I was gonna say, now I should be able to talk to her about everything. Ahem. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but no, it's okay. It was my fault.
Oh, we know.
Get fucked. Delightful. Just like DL. God, shut up! Guess we haven't tasted good wine yet. I might be wrong, but anyway, Georgia has centuries... no wait, not centuries, but rather thousands of... That would be millennia at that point. Years worth of wine culture. We do make good wine, generally. Yeah, I've had some very good Italian wines. Can't say I've ever had Georgian wine. Being wine person is a tradition here. Yes, quite. As far as I know, I've never had a Georgian wine. I've had Greek and Italian that probably are the two standouts of the best wines I've had. a Greek Moscato and... Or no, an Italian Moscato and a Greek... I can't remember. It was at a winery. I was there witnessing a proposal. I witnessed everything from that security room that night right there. In terms of harder liquor, this thing my father got me for Christmas, gosh, nearly a year ago at this point, is the barrel-finished Kentucky Straight Bourbon Double-Oaked Woodford Reserve. But you know what? Since we're talking about it, I'll go ahead and take a little sippy of this. It's, I haven't really gone through it. It's for special occasions, but, very good stuff. Warms you right up, let me tell you. I was afraid I wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry.
Sorry, you lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable.
Listen, girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Skye stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as... You're a lunch lady! She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what?
So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr?
Yes. It was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal when they faced me, they coughed it up. You couldn't have just said confessed. The Confession Queen. The Confession Queen is so much better and has like kind of biblical vibes to it, what with confession booths, than Cough Up Queen. Cough Up Queen makes me think you're blowing dudes and spitting it back at them, alright? Confession Queen is so much better. You really... Okay. Coughed it up? They confessed. Oh, gee! You know that word. Crazy. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel, too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the Cough Up Queen. So you didn't choose that yourself, because that's kind of a relief, but at the same time, would really go with Confession Queen if you ever get a chance to change that.
Oh, and here I thought someone got food poisoning from your lunches.
Ah, to be young and innocent. And you were let go, or fired? I felt I had found my dream job when I had become an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable.
Disposable? To who?
It's to whom, but go on. Shut the fuck up, 7-9. Oh my god, this is the new Mukuru Ikasaba for you. 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. Well, I appreciate that your hat is less stupid there. Gotta still wonder about the fucker dressed like a cowboy. Also, Bruce Goodman's tie. I'm assuming that's Bruce there on the right. Not a great tie, even in black and white. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence.
So, they didn't solve it.
On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. Oh. So, it's a moot point then? What? The criminal was executed, right? Mukusaba, the hidden 16th student? Yeah, that one. Lying somewhere hidden in the school, the one they call the Ultimate Despair. Watch out for her. On the basis of evidence of a sort. Made up evidence. Oh.
What? You mean someone executed someone on fabricated evidence?
The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved in the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen. That would be Marshall, probably. Others found themselves out of a job. That would be you.
And you were one of those?
TL6, watch out for it. God damn it. It's solved! Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean police department security detail officer marshal. I should get another, lunch here. From, It's still not the achievement, I don't think. No, there's a few more. But I do get another lunch here for asking about Marshall. Ugh, this achievement. As professional detectives, we investigate the case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then, it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten? Fuck. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to the case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us.
Wait! Those lunches you sell.
There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this cursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends, how many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. Is he really a cowboy? No, they said he was born in West LA. Jake Marshall, she means the cowboy loony. Yeah, that guy. I'm gonna have to get Mod to catch DL6 as a fucking bannable term. Not really. Don't anyone do that, but still. Yeah, he's a loony who dresses like a cowboy. Yeah, he's from West LA, they said.
There has to be a connection.
So, Rookie, why? Seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? What's on it? Is that butter? Why'd you put butter on my steak? Who does that? Yo, what the fuck? Is it meant to be a dollop of mashed potatoes? Because it looks like butter. I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch, added to the court record.
Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his, are you going out? Are you fucking in the closet?
Why do you want to know?
I was wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then.
This would be Officer Marshall was a detective. As long as I can talk about butt plugs, people do that. Yeah, well.
But now he's so cold.
Closet or under the loony's poncho. Yeah, well. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that.
I see. Thank you.
Officer Jake Marshall, huh? Where can I find the guy? Is that it for lunches? Yep, Salisbury steak. The next lunch is... Okay, the next lunch is actually the, it talks about the Salisbury steak in the guide. Oh god, it's so far away, the next one. Day 3 investigation is... Oh my god. This fucking achievement. Alright, whatever. Where would Marshall be? Is that what I need to do next? I've talked to everything. Can I examine the car more thoroughly? I mean, I've done the luminol test.
That's about as red a sports car as you can get.
Yep, it's pretty red, alright. Body was found in Edgeworth's car trunk. And the lock on the trunk was broken, too. So the question is, why did Miss Skye choose this car?
So what model car is it?
I think it was called a sedan or a coupe, something like that. Phoenix, not a car guy. Yeah, it's a tedious achievement. You're not kidding.
Those are car types, right? Not models. You're a guy, aren't you? You're supposed to know these things.
Whoa! Cool with the casual sexism there, Emma. Maybe it's just about time I got my driver's license. What model car? I mean, it's definitely a muscle car. It's a nice car. It's also clearly not a sedan. It has 2 doors, but, you know, whatever. And besides, cars? I'm not the guy to ask. Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, by all means. It's a red car. Yeah, there you go. Model's red. Shut up, Emma. Gonna check the trunk. Yep, okay.
Here's where he found that note. S21 SL9. Or 221, excuse me. The SL9 incident. The case that was due for transferal the day of the murder.
And the detective in charge of the case was the victim.
I wonder what kind of case the SL9 incident thing was.
Kinda hard to guess just knowing the case number. Yeah. I mean, DL6 was an elevator earthquake murder. SL9 could be aliens! Let's go to the police department then. Maybe they'll know. Bureau 23rd, police department entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday.
Detectives are running around so fast they're blurring.
I suppose it makes sense. The detective did get killed here, after all.
So the evidence room is the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is.
Why would they have that on a map? Surely that should be classic. She's like a kid in an amusement park.
Oh, a real crime scene.
We just came from one.
Let's go take a look.
Cool. Hold on. Gotta check in on the boys here. A patrolman's saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. You idiot! What are you thinking? Where's your head? Sir, right here, sir. God damn it. Dumb joke. SL9 was case about the elevator on the other side of the building. Alright, that's funny. Good, solid joke there, 7-9. Same earthquake, same elevator murder, just other side of the building. Alright, let's just rename this one too.
I guess he wasn't salooning. He was showing the detective where his head was.
They make a good pair. A couple of loonies, those two. Guard station, alright. Hey, do you think we found Marshall's place? Just saying. You know, what with the fucking lasso trap at the front door there? God damn it, dude, we get it. You've never been to Texas. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric.
According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room.
So beyond that door is the evidence room. The scene of the crime.
Sure seems that way.
Oh. What's wrong?
It's those cacti. They're so prickly, it's imposing. It's hard to think straight.
If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. Hey! Jokes! He's the funny man over here. My room looks like that. Very Texan. Can confirm. Your room looks just like that, huh? Complete with the bottles of alcohol on top of expensive equipment. Actually, that might be what your room looks like. Bad example. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard?
I have a feeling I know who he is already.
Yeah, funny that. He fucking replaced the... Oh my god. Everything here. Just everything. What are you doing, Jake?
Look on the floor. A lasso.
Looks like it's set up to trap something.
A trap here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed.
That's gotta be it. Gee, let me think. I bet you a nickel there. Yep, it's Ludi Cowboy's room. You sure have an active imagination. A whole nickel, huh, Arg? You're real sure about it. Looks like there's a video feed in the evidence room here.
There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we can use this computer to check on who went in and out there.
That sounds good. Should probably do that. Why is it a saloon door?
The swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon.
You know it would if it wasn't for the fact that it's a fucking guard room. Look, it's nailed shut. What? You can't get in that way.
Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch.
I'd say it's more of a yarg myself. Hey, there's your name, Arg, just with ye in front of it. I bet more, but I don't have any more on me right now. Touche. Solid point.
Thanks, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal.
I would think just one big one would be sufficient.
These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually.
Green? How so?
Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction.
We get it, you're a poet.
Just like her.
Phoenix checking his watch. Ah, yeah, sure. Pouring up some booze. Go on, tell me about it. I'm not sure I see the resemblance.
More of an attitude thing than a physical similarity.
Yeah, no, I don't think cacti have an attitude, Emma. Not generally speaking. Unless you're talking about the Shactus.
There's a security guard uniform hanging here.
Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly.
Leather jacket, leather pants, leather... What was this thing called again? A punchy, a paunchy, a pinchy... I know, a poochie!
Huh.
Wait, maybe that wasn't it.
It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information myself for the time being. Yeah, let her squirm a bit, why not? We have any comment about the fact that he drinks on the job? No? Nothing? Alright. Door? Evidence room's beyond that door.
Let's just walk in. It won't open.
You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Yeah, probably Jake's, but he's shirking his duty. Alright, well, if he's not here, guess I'll be on my way then. Police department. Okay, new stuff here. This place changed with frantic energy. Please! Huh?
Wasn't that?
One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Did you think we were Angel's Star? What? Detective Gumshoe. Now's not the time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland.
Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale.
I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking.
Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. We just need evidence.
Criminal? You mean... Oh, you heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, white pal? I didn't know he turned into a pretty...
What?
Turned into a pretty... What? On the same day, the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Oh, a pretty lady. No, yeah, Phoenix is very, it's the butt. You see Phoenix's butt, and you're like, what a shapely, womanly butt. And Phoenix is like, come on, leave me alone. And they're like, oh, you're a man, excuse me. Another detective was killed at the police department. Not sure you can tell the difference at this point, with him being hungry and all. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy, pal. But detective, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave! If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Waiter! Alright. Right off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Look at the patrolman. He's saluting. Answer me, how many fingers do you see? I'm sorry, I don't know. Well, there's 20 for the left, but nowhere near for the right. What? Get glasses, officer.
That wasn't a salute. That wasn't a salute. That was an eye test.
They make a good pair. Sure. What? Those two are weird. Anyway, criminal affairs. Oh, and it's everyone's favorite guy again. More background cops. Everyone looks deadly serious here.
Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department.
Yeah, but the same detective was killed at the time in the prosecutor's lot.
It makes my head hurt.
Hey, real quick. So, this suspect you arrested for murdering him in the evidence room, is it Lana? Because if it's not, I'm just gonna say that guy did it. You know, even if I'm wrong, we'll start a new trial for that guy. I'll defend him later. But, boy, him doing it means Lana couldn't have done it, so I really want this guy to have done it. Just saying. Well, first things first. Let's go check on the police department crime scene.
You sound dead set on investigating.
Hey! People have died! Jokes!
But don't mess up or we could wind up dead.
Alright, well, that's just the same joke. I doubt anyone wants any more mysteries of dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's gonna help us much either. Alright, so what's your deal? I must be one of the detectives, mumbling something. I know, the killer used dry ice. If you put it between the latch and the door, the room could have been sealed shut. This is good. I'll win a writer's award for sure. He's not writing a report, he's writing a novel. And you? Must be a chief of detectives. He's glued to his computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room? Tell no one outside the police department. No! I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. God damn it. Someone's getting into motion. Ah, that guy. Love those two. Almost as much as I love the detention center guard.
Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing.
What was that?
Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, fuck off. You? Someone thinks you're capable of murder?
Hi! Greetings, sir!
Wait, I know you. You're...
Excuse me, is Miles Edgeworth anywhere on the premises, sir? I'm here, sir, at the request of the Chief of Police. I've got to report, sir!
Officer Meekins. You're a guard here at the detention center?
No, sir, I'm not. I'm a little lost patrolman like a lost lamb, sir.
Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report?
No, sir. How should I say this?
Wait, he isn't. Is he? You, Officer Meekins. You didn't, did you?
Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting for duty, sir!
Ah, Meekins. You dumb fuck.
What?
This is an unexpected turn to events. Well, let's take a look at our buddy here. How's it going, champ? Guard's motionless. Seeing a fellow patrolman in here must make him worry about his own fate in life.
No comments from the peanut gallery.
Alright, what do you want, Meekins?
Sir! I'm a patrolman with general affairs, sir! Sir!
Ow, I hear you fine, Meekins.
I had some business that day, sir, and I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard at the station in front of the room was empty, sir.
So normally there's a guard in the evidence room.
Wouldn't discount him as a killer. Have you seen his chin? Could easily sink a Titanic as much as kill a dude. You aren't wrong. Bruce Goodman cut himself on Meekins' chin.
That's right, sir.
Why am I grabbing my nose every time? I think every character's Emma now. Can't wait to not have to do Emma's voice anymore. It's really fucking with my nose.
Because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall.
Marshall?
Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir!
God damn it, Meekins. What the heck is this guy doing?
So what happened then?
After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here, in the detention center.
How long were you out? Days? Also, didn't you deliver us a thing like yesterday?
Might I ask what happened to your hand?
Sir, there was no bandage in me. There was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up.
A bandage on his hand? Just like Miss Skye. Other hand, though.
Yet another similarity in this case, and one at the prosecutor's office.
First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right?
Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir! If you have labeled me as a perpetrator or a victim, sir, then label me a victim!
I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive. And, well, at that.
Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that.
Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman?
Sir, if I had to label him as a stranger, or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side.
So you didn't know him.
Sir,
I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. Really?
I don't know any detectives.
So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him?
Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any intention of recollection of killing him, sir.
At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand. It happened during the course of the crime.
Well, you see, sir,
Don't you think you should just confess?
But, sir, but there was nothing I could do.
Nothing you can do.
Sir, to tell you the truth, sir, when it happened, when Detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious.
Next thing you knew, you were, huh?
Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared.
What?
When I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Ow! The shock! Oh, the sorrow! Can you imagine how I felt?
The victim's body disappeared.
That's some story.
Huh. Anything to present? Busted knife, maybe. Officer Meekins, this is for you.
Eek! I'm scared of knives, sir!
It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it.
That's it, sir! Last night, sir! That's the one!
I was an... what the fuck?
I was an apple, sir, in my dream, and I was being peeled.
Second thought, you don't have to look at the knife.
He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back to criminal affairs. Seen that already. Alright, Marshall back yet, by chance? Nope. Alright, Meekins. Clearly I missed something with you. Talk to you about everything, but I guess I need to present something to you. Okay, ID card?
Do you think you can take a look at this?
Hey! That's it, sir! That's it!
What's it?
That's what?
My head was blank until this very moment, sir. But now, sir, I remember. I remember everything, sir.
You mean you remember what happened?
Correct! That card was the cause of all of this.
This ID card.
Alright, wow. I like that.
Yes, sir! That's it exactly. Nothing could be more exact, sir.
I better pry into this one a little deeper. Certainly should. You tell me what it is you do, remember?
Well, sir,
You might say I'm a little lost patrolman. A little lost lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious.
sir, I entered the evidence room, sir, and asked the man to show me his ID card.
Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far.
That's right, sir! That's what I've been trying to tell you!
So you asked Detective Goodman to show you his ID card. What do you do?
That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me!
You haven't examined everything in the guard room. There's a key reader next to the door. Maybe it will prompt some new plot. Nah, I checked. I highlighted that. It's the same as the door.
What? Sir, I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him.
Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him.
Do unto others before they do unto you. My father's own words, sir.
What happened then?
Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. And when I awoke, I was here. Right. Well, alrighty then.
So, Officer Meekins, why isn't they arrested you? And how did you deliver us a letter yesterday if you're arrested here right now? What's that about?
What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know.
Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim, who we met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have...
In other words, excuse me, where'd that come from? We have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim.
And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died.
That's it, sir! That's what I wanted to say! That is, I did say something along those lines.
Huh? But you still ended up here?
They told me it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said.
But you don't remember the events clearly.
No, but the videotape is quite clear.
Huh? Videotape?
From the security camera. The crime, my crime that I swore to stamp out. It's there. It's me on the tape.
And you waited until now to tell us this?
I'm sorry. Really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it.
No thanks, I have my own. I guess I better get to check on the crime scene. Alright, now we can probably go to, or we can get stopped here. We're reaching a 3-hour mark. Yep, might be a good place to call it after a Chin Man interview. Let's get to the crime scene.
Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the chief of detectives desk.
It's Police Chief Gant. Or maybe it'll be after this guy. What a note to end on. And you're sure this is all, You know what that means. You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers. Lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats. Under his seat cushion, behind the computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Righto, my boy. How ya been? Swim much? Ho-ho! Chief Gant reporting for duty, sir. He is so happy that someone is not treating him as filthy, disgusting animal. Any amount of affection, he's like, Dad! Father!
Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright?
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna save here. We will open on a strong point next time and have a chat with good old Mr. Gant. The terrifying individual that he is. I'm sure there won't be any hidden underlining threats anywhere in the statement that he makes. Ha ha ha. Thank you everyone for watching and for tuning out, or coming out rather. Love you all. I will be back on Sunday. Have a great weekend. Be good people. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And do some things I would do. You know, just go live your best lives over the weekend. And shake your fist at this awful lunchbox achievement for me while you're at it. I'd really appreciate it. Be good people.